Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Who Knocked on Aleister Black's Door video. Now, what I will say is there is a huge rumour doing the rounds on Twitter as to who WWE have selected for this. That is going to be at the end of this video. The reason why I'm doing it that way is because I want to go through a bit of a top 5. And of course, this massive rumour will be number 1 on that list. So we're going to look at a top 5 as to who it could be. But for those of you that don't know, Aleister Black has been sat in some kind of cupboard week after week after week. He's just been waiting for someone to knock on his door to issue him a challenge. He just wants to fight. So he's been waiting for someone to be brave enough to challenge him. Finally, someone knocked on the door last night. Big smile came over the face of Aleister Black. Very sinister. But we never found out who it was. So I thought we would do a top 5 as to who it is likely to be. So let's start, shall we? And let's start with number 5, Bray Wyatt. Please, no. No. Please, no. I do not want this. I didn't want Bray to be special guest referee, and I really don't want Bray to be knocking on Aleister Black's door. I think the booking for this would be so lazy. I mean, we have built and built and built this Bray Wyatt character up. We've had week after week of the Firefly Funhouse. Like, everything has been analysed. We've read into everything, and it's just so epic and huge, and it's taken on a life of its own, and people are freaking out when the puppets make appearances. Are we really going to say his first feud, his first match, is going to be because he knocked on Aleister Black's door? Like, there has to be more substance than that. His first match and feud has to have more meaning than that. It can't just be throwaway, how you doing, mate? Just to let you know I'm here. Oh! What do you mean? We're having a match. It's got to be more than that. I hate it. Every part of my body hates the idea that it could be Bray Wyatt. I actually don't think it will be. I'm giving this like 10% chance. I think WWE have got a long-term plan for Bray. I don't think they're going to bring him back this way. I honestly think Bray likely will do a promo at Extreme Rules. It could be that we don't even see Bray Wyatt until Extreme Rules. I would bring him back on the July 8th episode of Raw because that is his anniversary. He first debuted on Raw in 2013 as Bray Wyatt on July 8th. So they could bring him back on July 8th, or they could bring him back at Extreme Rules. There's really no rush. There's no rush. You've got people out there that are getting a little bit fed up, but for me, those are the people that just don't get it, if I'm being honest. I think for those of us that are enjoying this journey, there's just no rush. So I really don't want this to happen. Next on the list, Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy, an absolutely incredible wrestler that was called up to Smackdown Live. There hasn't been anything for Buddy Murphy to do since he came up from 205 Live. He is one of the best wrestlers they've got. It would be a great way to kind of show him off to the world. Like putting him on that Extreme Rules card, having him in a feud with Aleister Black. The only downside to this is someone would have to lose. Like, Buddy Murphy has just been called up. Aleister Black is still brand new to the main roster as well. I mean, before this, he was in a tag team with Ricochet. So this really is the start of Aleister Black's singles run on the main roster. So putting them two together sounds amazing on paper. Like, the match would be insane, but someone would have to lose. Now, in a way, I suppose that shouldn't matter. This is what good wrestling is all about. You put two great workers together, someone wins, someone loses. But I don't know. I don't know if it's too soon. Like, both of them making their main roster debuts, basically, as single stars. I'm not sure this is the wisest option, but the match would be insane. Next up, we've got Andrade. So Andrade was in a match with Finn Balor at Super Showdown. Obviously, since then, we've not seen him. He's going to need a feud, something to get his teeth into. He was down in NXT at the same time as Aleister Black, so Could be that Andrade just knocks on the door to check on an old friend. Doesn't even know because he doesn't even speak English. So maybe he didn't know what Aleister Black was talking about. He's just checked on him. And now it's led to a match. Andrade, Aleister Black. Andrade could take the loss here as well. We've seen him lose quite often. Even though I am a massive Andrade fan, I feel like this would be okay for him to lose and kind of put Aleister Black over. So I like the idea of Andrade. So that would certainly be a direction that I would be leaning towards. Number 2 on the list, though, and this actually was my number 1 until a few hours ago when I saw these reports and rumours starting to break online. But Randy Orton, I've got at number 2. He was my number 1. Aleister Black has been doing house shows with Randy Orton. So that kind of implies they're working out the kinks, trying to figure out how their styles mesh and really putting the groundwork in for a feud. And so it would make sense that that's the person that's knocked on the door. Plus also, I just think that's an epic match. Like Aleister Black, Randy Orton, could be a bit of a passing of the torch if Aleister Black can win that feud. So I really like it. I think Randy Orton is quite dark and sinister at times. And he really will push Aleister Black. And Aleister Black just performs better when he is backed into a corner, when he is being pushed. They would bring the best out of each other. It's a feud I would love to see. And that was my favourite option until earlier today. Because earlier today, reports started to break online that WWE had decided who was going to face Aleister Black at Extreme Rules, and that name is a bit of a shock. It comes courtesy of WrestleVotes. WrestleVotes have broken news before about WWE. A lot of other wrestling news outlets now are starting to pick up on this story, so it's really gaining momentum. But it is a surprise, and the person that is being apparently lined up to face Aleister Black, Cesaro is apparently the person that is going to face Aleister Black. Now, it's a surprise because Cesaro's on Raw and Aleister Black is on SmackDown. So it does kind of beg the question, why was he even there to knock on the door? But putting all that to one side, Cesaro does make a lot of sense. He is someone that's been on the main roster for quite a while. He is one of the best wrestlers they've got. He is someone that can put Aleister Black through his paces. A little bit like you see with Natalya. Like when you get a new person that hits the main roster, they tend to put them in matches with Natalya because she is that, you know, fantastic female wrestler. She's got her head screwed on. She can help them work through the matches and kind of really set them up, really give them the basics that they need to go forward. I kind of feel the same way with Cesaro. Cesaro now kind of transitioning more into that old school guy that is there to kind of get the new talent ready. I'm not sure they really see Cesaro as like a future world champion, which is a real shame because if they're going to put the belt on like Kofi, then I really feel like Cesaro at some point should get that opportunity as well. One of the nicest guys I've ever spoke to as well. I had the pleasure of talking to Cesaro. Really nice guy, massive fan of his work. I would love for him to be champion. But this does make sense for him to put over Aleister Black. So that's the big rumour right now. So that's it, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.